What's up, you guys? It's Erin. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a fun and kind of bougie try on. We are going to be testing out the two products I picked up during the recent Pat McGrath 30% off sale. I bought some products on a whim. I couldn't resist, and I'm going to be testing them for the first time on camera with you guys. But before we get into the video, if you like me and my channel and relatable beauty content, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so you're notified of all my future uploads. And let's just get into the Pat McGrath try-on. So like I said, I went ahead and picked up two items from the Pat McGrath 30% off sale. I couldn't resist. It was like 30% off plus free shipping plus an extra 10% off. And yes, it's still expensive, but I couldn't resist those prices. And there are a few items that I've had my eye on. I went ahead and picked up the Divine Blush in Fleurtatious and the Venous and Fleurs Luxe Quad in Voyeuristic Vixen. So as you can see, the packaging on these is very luxe and beautiful. Alright, so let's unbox the blush first. This is her powder blush that she came out with a few months ago, and I have a lot of friends that absolutely raved about this, including my friend Emily from Emily's Makeup Bag. She has a YouTube channel that's doing well, and she has a lot of followers on Instagram as well. I can link her stuff down below, but she raves about this blush. I'm sorry, it already has fingerprints on it. She has been raving about this blush since she picked it up in this specific shade. This is a very light nude shade. It's called the shade Fleurtatious, and it's described as a soft pink demi-matte nude. Yeah, soft beige pink demi-matte. I'm just looking at the Sephora site. A lot of the shade options had like a pearl type finish, and I just didn't really want that. Like, I didn't want, like, I know a lot of people are really into like the nude Venus shade. It's peachy pink with golden pearl. I just don't want that sheen. I was just wanting more of a nude flush, and I've been liking more nude blushes lately. So this packaging is gorgeous. It has like a beautiful imprint in it. It has like a mirror. Everything you would expect for a luxury product. The full price is $38, but I obviously got it 30% off plus an extra 10% off. So I think it was around $24 or something like that, if I remember correctly. So that is the blush I picked up. And then I also picked up this quad. It's the Venous and Fleur Luxe Quad Voyeuristic Vixen. So this will be my second eyeshadow quad from Pat McGrath. I do have the Ritualistic Rose quad that I wanted for a very long time and then finally picked up last year, and I do like that, but I don't reach for it as much as I thought I would because it's like 4 special glittery shades, and I wanted something a little bit more that I could get a total look with. And this palette, as you can see, it has the same type of magnetic packaging. You open it up, and here is the quad. This palette has gotten really good reviews. They're my type of shades, and I think because it has a matte, a shimmer, what looks like a special shade, and then more of a glittery shade, I will just be able to get more of a total look with this. Let me just show you the Ritualistic Rose quad for reference. So this quad is absolutely stunning, but it's really not a standalone. It's very much for special shades, and I kind of use these along with other shadows. But this one I felt like is more of a standalone quad, which I really liked. I cannot remember how much this retails for. Her quads retail for $65. And this one in particular just really spoke to me. I was on the fence about picking up either the Bronze Seduction palette, which is one of her larger palettes that retails for $125, or the one that I swatched at Sephora that looks gorgeous was the new Utopian palette. That looks gorgeous as well. But with how much I've been reaching for very small palettes and little quads like this, I figured, you know, she's going to have more sales in the future. If I really love this and love her mattes, because I haven't tried her mattes, I could always pick up one of those palettes in the future. But I reined it in, and I didn't go too crazy. So that's kind of where we're at with what I picked up. Like I said, we're going to do a try-on of these products. I went ahead and did my base makeup. I didn't use any powder or anything. I just have foundation, concealer, brows, and some like cream contour on. Zoom you in a little bit here, but I'm going to prime my eyes with a little bit of the Urban Decay Primer Potion because it's what I always use. I swear by it. And I do have a little bit oilier eyelids, so I'm just going to use what I normally would for this. I guess before we apply it to the eyes, I should show you some swatches and maybe peel off the sticker. So satisfying. I like, it does have a nice big mirror on here. So the shades in here are called, okay, let's start with the matte. Ooh, it's really, really buttery. It's like a dusty, like almost like a cool toned rosy color. This is called, look at that. This is called After Dusk. And then we have more of a shimmery light white, and this is called Moonlight Liaison. Like very gorgeous, like not her glitter special shade, but like more of a shimmery metallic. And then we have, let's do this one here, which is Twilight Bronze, which is honestly the shade I think is going to be my favorite because I love a taupey shade like this. It's like a pinky taupe with like purple shift in there, and I actually like that this is metallic and not, her special shades are very pretty, but they are almost pure glitter, so you know you can only really wear that on the right occasion. And this one is just more of an understated kind of finish. And then we have one of these special shades which is called Rose Fire Nectar. Oh, I like that name a lot. I did swatch these on a reel on Instagram, but I wanted to show you guys here as well. So as you can see, this is more of like a foiled glitter, like you just, it's just like basically pressed glitter is what her special shades are. So that is the quad swatched. Before we get started, since that is more of like a tacky primer, I'm going to go ahead and set my lid with the shade Tempera from my Soft Glam palette. We have some nice clean brushes, which is always nice. Just a really light layer on the lid. If I'm not going right in with the cream shadow, I almost always set my lid, so as you can probably guess, I'm going to go in with the matte shade first and just kind of put that on my fluffy brush here. And I think I'm going to kind of buff it all over my lid and then like kind of tap it where I want the most pigment, and then we'll buff it out from there. The shade is a really gorgeous color, and I've heard really good things about how it performs. You know, especially if you only have one matte in a palette, you want to be able to like really build it up and get dimension from it, because if this is the only palette that you're using, which, you know, you should be able to do that, as I just used another matte shadow to set my lid, but you know. I'm just really kind of building it up in the outer corner and then buffing it up. Just really blending it. That shade is really, really pretty. It's like a purpley, cool toned burgundy winter shade. I'm going to build up a little bit more in the outer corner. Blends beautifully. That is stunning. I really love that shade, and I love that it's not like super warm and red. I like that it's a little bit more of a neutral, almost cool tone once you blend it out. Like there it looks more red, here it looks a little bit more purpley, which I personally really enjoy because super warm tones, I don't always reach for them as much. Yeah, I really love that color that blends out too. It's a little intimidating right when you apply it because it does look really pigmented, but I think, you know, kind of tapping it where you want it first and then blending it from there is very helpful. It's very, very blendable for such a pigmented shadow. like I did on the other side. I'm just going to add a little bit more to the outer corner to deepen that up a little bit. Then I'm going to take a clean brush and just kind of buff over the edges. Just make sure we have a really nice blend. Stunning. That looks really nice. Then what I want to do is take this kind of metallic here, the Twilight Bronze shade, which honestly I'm most excited about. I'm going to take that on my finger and just kind of press that over the entire lid. Ooh. Oh, is that out of frame? Okay. That is really pretty. It has like multi-colored shift in it almost, but it's like silvery taupey at the same time. I feel like this is going to be a really pretty holiday palette. I know it's not new, but this would be really pretty for the holidays. This like deep and like wintertime in general. That was very easy to apply. It's really, really smooth and buttery. And then I'm going to go ahead and take that first brush with the matte on it and just blend out the edges a little bit to bring that back without adding any more product. Then I'm going to take a brush and take this light colored shade and just really brighten up my inner corner with it. It's a perfect like inner corner shade. I bet you could use this as a highlight too if you applied it just right. And I like to bring it up to brighten up the inner corner. This palette is very, very easy to use. And then I'm going to tap a little bit of the special shade. Like sometimes when I look at it, it looks pink. And then when I flip it, like it looks pink. And then it looks gold. It looks pink. It looks gold. It's a really pretty color. I'm going to tap that right on the center and bring it up. That's what I really like to do with these kinds of shades. Wow. I do think you could use some glare glue with this if you really care about fallout, but it's very minimal. And I could add some concealer if I want. I'm going to blend out the edges like one more time. I'm curious how this special shade compares to the one in the Ritualistic Rose Quad. This one is kind of like a pink gold shift as well. Let's compare those shades. Here is the shade. It doesn't have shades in here, but it's like the pink gold flip from the Ritualistic Rose Quad. So that's a lot lighter. And then we have they're both really, really pretty. This is definitely a deeper golden rose, and this is more of like a pale pink with a gold shift. And then this is actually a lot drier feeling than this. Feels a lot creamier. So they're definitely not exactly the same formula if you're curious about that. And I actually think I prefer this creamier formula a little bit more because this can feel a little bit dry on the eyes. I'm going to put a little bit of what's left on my brush on my lower lash line. Okay, look at that. That's like gorgeous. I'm really glad I picked this up. I can say that already. Let's try the blush. I'm really excited to try the blush. So this is the shade Fleurtatious from the, what is this called? Why do they have such long names? I can't remember them. Oh, it's just the Divine Blush. And the shade Fleurtatious, which I think this will go really nicely with the eye look. My favorite powder blush brush is this one I got in Ipsy forever ago from Farrah Blushes. It's the 40F stipple brush. I'm going to go ahead and, I haven't swatched this or anything because I really just don't believe in swatching powder blushes because like they're supposed to be buildable and blendable, and that just doesn't really do you any justice. I'm going to just stipple that onto the cheeks. It definitely feels a little bit harder pressed, maybe just because I'm just applying it. I don't like how that brush feels with it. I'm gonna go in with this brush instead. This is like actually a highlighter brush, but I like that it's a little bit fluffier. I had just washed that brush and it felt really stiff. Can you see that, like pinky kind of nude flush? It's definitely not too pigmented right off the bat, which I really actually appreciate, especially in a powder blush, because once you blotch on a powder blush that's too pigmented, you can't really take it back. Oh, I like that. It's a pinky flush, and it looks like it's not going to be much on the cheeks, but as you can see, it really gives a nice, just going to keep adding blush. Why not? I like to kind of bring it up. So it looks slightly sheeny, but not, it's overall pretty demi-matte as it describes. And it's not too pink, it's not too dark. I would say I have light skin, not the fairest skin, but light skin, and it shows up really nicely on me. Obviously super dark skin tones could not use this, but she has a lot of different range of shades. I like that this is buildable, super blendable. Oh yeah. What do we think? I didn't put any highlighter on because I wanted to see if this is glowy. I wouldn't say it's super glowy, but it's described as a demi-matte blush. So, all right, there's kind of what we're looking like far away. I'm just gonna go finish up my makeup, add some mascara, some lip, you know, all the good stuff, and then we will go over my final thoughts. All right, makeup is done. I went ahead and applied my Rare Beauty mini mascara, which I have been obsessed with. I added a little more bronzer from the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow Duo. The highlight is from the Danessa Myricks Lightwork palette. I mixed every single shade except for the deepest shade. I love this palette. And then I added a little bit more, I used some of the Kosas Cloud Set powder, and then I added a little bit more of the lip I already had on, which is the YSL, really long name again, Rouge Volupte Shine Balm Lipstick in the shade 44. And it's perfect nude shiny pink, and that is the makeup. Let me zoom you in and show you what everything's looking like now. Let me show you the eyeshadow look. I'm looking in a mirror. I am so impressed by both these products. Watching me apply these products, I don't think that you're surprised that I love both these products. The quad was, for how like unique and pigmented these shadows are, they're very, very easy to work with. The matte is very blendable. It is versatile where you can kind of build it up to look like more than one shade. All the shimmers have different depths and finishes, which I really love. I do think that every time I use this palette, will probably end up with like some sort of similar look. I mean, it's just this is the kind of look I'm going to do with this palette. I'm going to put the glitter in the middle. I'm going to put the lighter one on the inner corner, etc., etc. But I think this is versatile in the way that you could wear the matte on its own with a little bit of this in the inner corner. I could do this look without the glitter if I wanted to tone it down a little bit. I don't know. I just really love this. I think I will definitely be traveling with this because it's so compact. I'll just have to be careful because it is expensive. And then the blush in Fleurtatious. I really like this. I don't know if this for me is like a groundbreaking formula because I do have a lot of powder blushes, but I need to use it more. I really do like the shade. It's like a nude pink shade. I think it's perfect for winter and this time of year. It's definitely more of a matte finish, which I actually think is a little bit refreshing in my collection because I have a lot of cream blushes, a lot of glowy blushes, dewy blushes, shimmery blushes, all that kind of stuff. So I think having like a nude pink blush is kind of refreshing and needed in my collection. It reminds me a little bit of the Tarte, what are those called? Like the Tarte blushes, the Amazonian clay blushes, but a little bit like less patchy and blendable. But those are really nice too. Honestly, it's a very similar formula. Do you remember like the shade Party from the birthday gift from Sephora a couple years ago? It's like a similar nude pink. I think I broke that shade, but actually let me see if I have it. I do have it. Okay, let's see if these are similar. Look how much I love this blush. Ooh, look at that. Did we find an affordable dupe? I have to test these side by side, but those might be somewhat similar, but I love this blush and I've loved it for a really long time. So maybe this is more like a big girl version of this blush with like bougier packaging and a little bit more sophisticated of a formula. I don't think I would pay full price for either of these products, but do I love them? Yeah, I really, really do. I think I will be reaching for both of these products a lot. I'm glad I didn't get anything crazy that is only going to be like good for special occasions, because these are expensive products and I want to make sure I get use out of them. But these are both a yes from me. They're really, really beautiful. Obviously I will have to see how these eyeshadow and blushes wear, but I already know that the Pat McGrath shadow formula wears well. I just haven't tried the mattes. But I'm really glad I picked up both these products on sale. I'm really enjoying them so far, and if you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments and let me know what your favorite Pat McGrath products are. I definitely have more on my list to try, but you know, you got to try it in small increments because it costs a lot of money. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you in my next one. Bye.